RachelZegler. She's the young woman that was cast as Snow White. It has proven to be Disney's worst investment ever.
Said she hated Snow White, mocked the fact that there was a prince, and that she falls in love as opposed to leaning into her own power.
Underlying anger and hatred in her that always has to take it like one step too far. So first,
Disney wagered nearly $270 million on a modern-day fairy tale, only to watch its kingdom crumble faster than an apple left in the sun. The live-action Snow White opened to a lukewarm $43 million in the U.S., and a global debut of $87 million, far below the nine-figure splash Disney predicted. RachelZegler's trouble began long.
Do you want to be Snow White or do you hate Snow White? Do you want to destroy Snow White? They went way too woke. They ended up kind of
before the first ticket printed. During a 2024 press junket, she laughed that, "No prince is coming to save me," insisting her Snow White would lead herself. The clip raced across X, landing on conservative shows where pundits like Candace Owens and Megyn Kelly dismissed her as deranged woke. Owens went further, urging parents to boycott
the fact that Rachel herself is very young. What's her daughter, like a toddler, I'm assuming?
The film outright, no matter how much your children love Snow White. Yet a single soundbite was only the first crack in the mirror. Opening night revealed the deeper fracture. Entire IMAX rows sat empty. Screenshots of lone blue seat icons spreading faster than the trailer itself. Analysts told Business Insider the flop ran deeper than go woke, go broke outrage. Critics simply felt the movie isn't connecting creatively, and families stayed home. Then came the dwarfs, or rather, the lack of them. Disney replaced the 7 iconic miners with a mixed troupe of magical
how fundamentally stupid she is, because she doesn't even understand basic civics.
Creatures, hoping to dodge stereotypes. Instead, the change pleased no one. Actors with dwarfism accused Disney of erasing opportunities, while Peter Dinklage blasted the studio for hypocrisy, asking why a supposedly progressive remake still retold that fucking backwards story. Social feeds erupted in side-by-side memes comparing the cuddly 1937 originals to uncanny CGI newcomers. While fans argued over dwarfs, a geopolitical rift split the cast. Zegler's Free Palestine Instagram story pulled 8.8 million views. Israeli co-star Gal Gadot doubled down on support for her homeland. Disney, panicked, reportedly hired a social media guru to vet every Zegler post and paid for extra security around Gadot after death threats rolled in. Insiders whispered about separate press schedules to keep the women apart, though both publicly insisted there was no feud. The 2024 U.S. election poured gas.
And Disney has canceled all of RachelZegler's appearances on their media platforms. Kind of tough.
Gasoline on the blaze. When Donald Trump clinched re-election, Zegler vented on Instagram, "May Trump supporters and Trump voters and Trump himself never know peace." The quote ricocheted through right-wing media. Owens replayed it on her podcast, repeating her call for a nationwide boycott. Disney brass feared half their domestic audience had just been told they weren't welcome. Back in Burbank, spreadsheets turned scarier than any poisoned apple. Internal estimates peg the write-down at $115 to $150 million.
As we covered, the movie is terrible anyway, in its own right.
Forcing executives to freeze the already announced Tangled remake and hint at layoffs. One leaked memo warned that nostalgia mining no longer guarantees ROI. For a studio whose last 3 princess remakes each cleared $1 billion, that admission hit like a cracked mirror. Amid the chaos, critics noticed a quieter
There's no doubt that she drove the final nail into this movie's coffin.
Theme hiding beneath the headlines. Snow White's obsession with eternal youth mirrors Hollywood's own fear of aging women. A Guardian essay argued that while audiences debated wokeness, the deeper message, that a woman's worth fades with every wrinkle, went unchallenged. Yet through empty theaters and scorched comment threads, Zegler projects bulletproof confidence. She posted a photo of the Snow White poster captioned, "#1 movie in the world," seemingly unfazed by box office math. Disney accountants, however, see a different ranking. At $153 million worldwide against a $250 million budget, the film is on pace to become one of the company's costliest misfires. So where does this leave our would-be princess? Some insiders say her raw talent could still rescue her, if she can keep the politics off screen. Others whisper she's now radioactive, the latest cautionary tale of how a single viral clip can torch a 9-figure franchise. As for Disney, the Mouse House must decide whether to keep remixing yesterday's magic or finally risk something new. Because in 2025, the fairest question of all isn't about princes or poisoned fruit. It's whether Hollywood can still tell a classic story without shattering its own mirror. Yet the box office math was only the opening act. Online, the fallout turned into a meme carnival. Within hours of the first weekend totals, hashtags like Not My SnowWhite and Disney Flop rocketed up X's trending list, racking up millions of impressions. TikTok creators stitched Zegler's press junket soundbite into parody songs. YouTubers posted side-by-side edits comparing 1937's dwarfs to the new CGI magical creatures, calling them the 7 uncanny Valley cousins. Fan anger crystallized into boycott videos that spread faster than Disney's own marketing clips, amplifying Candace Owens' rallying cry well beyond her usual audience. Inside Burbank, executives scrambled for a streaming lifeboat. Early projections now point to a 60-day theatrical window, half the length of 2023's Little Mermaid, before SnowWhite lands on Disney+. Insiders say the studio will mimic the Mulan strategy, an early access paywall meant to claw back revenue from families who skipped theaters. But analysts warn that shoving a high-budget film onto streaming so soon simply moves the red ink from one ledger to another, because premium access dollars rarely match a full theatrical run. Worse, the debacle triggered collateral damage. Last week, multiple outlets confirmed Disney has paused pre-production on its planned live-action Tangled, a move sources describe as cooling the pipeline until confidence returns. Investors, rattled by the SnowWhite shortfall, are pressuring CEO Bob Iger to diversify away from nostalgia retreads. One finance note bluntly warned that remakes are no longer low-risk, high-yield, they're roulette. Meanwhile, Hollywood's blame game intensified. A Vanity Fair feature argues that Disney's own leaks have turned RachelZegler into both scapegoat and icon, as industry voices split between condemning her politics and defending her right to speak. An open letter signed by 50 journalists accuses the studio of deflecting from its creative misfires by stoking outrage at its star. Teen Vogue's timeline of the controversy notes how production delays, strike shutdowns, and even a set fire compounded the chaos long before Zegler ever opened her mouth. So the shattered mirror keeps splintering across spreadsheets, social feeds, and studio schedules. And the fairest question of all still lingers. Can Hollywood rescue its beloved stories without turning every princess into a lightning rod? Or will the next remake face the same poisoned apple?